objective of the meeting is also to help CSOs understand the innovation that the new law has brought to Kano State. We know that the penal code has been in use. The CPE and the CPC are the current laws that are being applied.
Today's gathering, to thank Allah for giving me the opportunity to be part of this very important law that was passed by the Kano State House of Assembly. And I'm sure if we put it into use properly, to not only help the people, but will take it, Kano State to a higher level. The lawyers should try like this. Seminars are lacking. Seminars are lacking in virtually all the sectors in Kano, both the government and private sectors. We lack in seminars, and seminars bring about a lot of knowing what is A, what is B, what is C, knowing yourself, knowing what to do. So seminars like this should be encouraged. I really will have to appreciate Roland for their wonderful assistance toward achieving this law. Without them, I think it would have been something else. Honestly, I have to confess that it's a very voluminous law. It was about to be stepped down at the State Assembly because of the reasons discussed on how to pass it with time constraint and what have you, but as Allah will have it, we were able to pass it. It is very, very important that I'm proud to be associated with. Nothing in all the laws that were passed in the 8th Assembly, there is nothing more important than this law. Nothing.
Yes, in Kano office here. I was transferred here sometime December 2017, I resumed in January, so that's like 20 months now that I've been here. And when I got here, I had some challenges. And one of the challenges was the Administration of Criminal Justice Act that was being operated at the federal level have not yet been domesticated in Kano State. And I was coming from where it was already in practice. My former posting was in Lagos. I worked in Lagos, Port Harcourt, Enugu, Abuja. Then I got here. In Lagos, it's been operating for many years. In Enugu, it's been operating. And then in Abuja too. So when I got here, and my lawyer started going, one of my lawyers is here, they started going to court. We started having some challenges that we were no longer having under the Administration of Criminal Justice Law in the federal capital. Challenges like, issues like, plea bargain has been fully domesticated in the federal law. It was not yet domesticated in the state law of Kano State. Issues like trial in absentia. One of the challenges I had the first time was one of our lawyers had a case in court and the defendant disappeared, jumped bail, like we said. And under the ACJL in the federal law, if an adjournment is taken and the defendant was there and his lawyer was there, and after that adjournment he refused to come to court the first time, the second time, on the third adjournment, the case can proceed without him. They will do the trial and convict him under the law. The judge will convict him and leave it at that point, waiting for any time we can arrest him for sentencing. So when a defendant jumps bail now, I don't have problem anymore. Let him run. We will do the trial ourselves. In that case, there will be nobody to defend him. Yeah. It will make the work easy. If we line up like 5 witnesses and he jump in, I'll just put in 2 and maybe my IO, and then we conclude the case and they convict him. When they convict him, my advice to my officers is that once he's convicted, don't even do anything. Relax. Wait for another 6 months, 1 year. When he thinks that everything is over, one day you'll be eating amala in one joint in Sabogini, you just make it. So that challenge was there because the Kano State law did not make provision for that. So we had problems. Issues like even non-custodial sentences. In the ACJL, you can sentence somebody now to community service. One of my judges, a colleague of mine who's a judge, called me one day and said, please advise me. These students, there are some students here, I'm about to convict them, 2 of them. And what would you ask me to ask them to do? I don't want them to go to prison. They are so young. And if they go to prison, they won't come back the same. Please, Mr. Johnson, advise me and say, sir, you know what to do? My Lord, just sentence them to community service. Since they are students and they are on campus, ask them to go and be washing the toilet of the female hostel. Not even their own. These are your own police at 494. I'm collecting money from everybody. Sentence them to community service. Ask them to wash the female hostess for the next 6 months. Every morning they will wash the toilet. Before the children come back from class in the evening, they will wash the toilet. By the time they do that for 6 months, I don't think if they are human beings, they will remain fraudsters. They will advise themselves. So that's the position of the ACJL, and it was not in the Kano law. So each time we have issues of plea bargain, what do we do with these young people? Should we send them to this so much congested prison where some bad boys are waiting for them? The real bad boys, those who are into violent crimes, are waiting for them to train them, to retrain them, and send them back to become menace to society. So these are the issues that we're having. For instance, one of the last one before I sit down is under the ACJL, you know, the big cases that I do, I'm the one prosecuting most of the former governors of the Northwest. Currently, I'm prosecuting them in Kebbi, Sokoto, Kano here, Zamfara, Katsina, Jigawa. I prosecute them every other day. When we started arraigning them, when I came here last year and I took each other to court, each time we arrive court, the lawyer will jump up and say he's objecting to the charge. The charge is before the court. Before they can read the charge, he will jump up and say, I'm objecting. Under the previous law, the objection will be heard. And that can take another 1 year to finish. And the man will know about that, so nothing is happening to him. But under the ACJL, before you can object, the defendant must take his plea first. He must say guilty or not guilty first. And once you have done that, the new law says you cannot be asking for objection anyhow you like it.
Point of Anti-Corruption Commission of Kano State, we are really happy because actually with the coming of the ACJL, at least our work will be lessened. People have now turned the Kano State Anti-Corruption like a debt recovery institution. Whenever they bring in something, you cannot turn them away, but at the same time, there are certain rights we have to implement. If you tell them that, no, this is not something that we can do, then they will come out and say, yes, no, actually anti-corruption are not doing our work, because they have turned us away. So with the coming of the ACJL, and with public awareness, at least the public will realize that where your right stops, another person starts. So actually, we are really happy that it has come into being. And on the issue of trial and annexation, actually most of our cases, because I'm coming from the office of the Attorney General and the Solicitor General here present, I have the care of the Attorney General to prosecute some cases, but mostly people will run away from the trials. You will see most of our cases at the Commission are not going on. People will start thinking that, you know, maybe something has been done or there is something under the table, so that is why we have not been doing the cases. But now with the coming of the ACJL, at least we can continue with our trials. And then at the same time, notwithstanding that the ACJL has come, there are some challenges. Because we have been talking about the right of the accused person now that depended on the ACJL, we have to look at the victim's right. Most of the times, especially in corruption or money-related cases, you will see that a person will come and then he will take money from people under false pretenses, and then he will come under any other right. You come and say, no, you cannot arrest him, you cannot do this for him. But you have to look at the right of the victim at the same time. People cannot be using the courts to go and obtain orders randomly just because they don't want to be prosecuted. So at the same time, we have to look at these challenges brought in by the ACJL and then make the people aware. The CSOs now have this one stats of informing people of the challenges associated with this. And for anything that good that comes, then there must be definitely a negative side to it. So it is our own duty, mostly the lawyers and the CSOs, to ensure that this law
is not going to be abused in any way, because we have this duty not only because we are doing something for the society, but religiously and for our own society. So alhamdulillah, we are happy that we are part of this change that has come to Kano, and we pray that it will be beneficial to the people of Kano and the Nigerian population at large.
1963, the Kano Emirate Council, headed by the Emir of Kano, owned the police, the prisons, the treasury, and every instrument of power. And it may be that the population and complexity of our society has grown up, but you could always go back and say, it was a little better run. I couldn't help but notice Mr. Johnson, the Honorable Prosecutor, had made mention himself that whoever is unlucky to find himself in our prison system is really unlucky. Yet somehow inexplicably, we have continued to send young people over there with the guise that we are sending them to correctional facilities. They have done something wrong. We dump them in places where we are certain when they come out they will be the worst for themselves and for the society. Yet we keep doing it. And I know that the clinical definition of insanity is repeatedly doing something and expecting a different result. You are not going to get a different result. One of the ironies of our societies is that the weak is not protected. And the first thing Sayyidina Abu Bakr said when he became the Caliph, the first thing he said after his opening remarks was that the strong would be the weakest under my rule until I get the right of the weak from him. So without mentioning names, a governor runs through his 8 years. On his 9th year out of office, or rather on his 7th year, the EFCC has a file case this high, and he runs for a Senate position. He gets voted into the Senate, and he gets elected as the chairman of the Judiciary Committee, which now has an oversight function over the EFCC. So for the next, well, in this case 4 years and probably some more, he's safe from justice. And our society, it is nobody's fault. But that is the irony we live in. And I think that also it is a fair time to consider that as part of the organic knowledge that we have as we go on in this discussion. Said, Zama da madakin kanwa yana kawo farki. I have gradually been involved in the issue of media and social justice in particular. And I know we have somehow attempted to reach out to EFCC in particular and Federal Ministry of Internal Affairs, trying to see how we can create content that would try to prevent young people from actually not getting involved with the criminal justice system. I think that's the best way to start, because once a kid gets involved, and as was clearly mentioned, non-custodial sentences are literally absent. The only thing we have to do is just lock him up. Last week, in my position as the MD of the company, I was involved in a case of getting a 6-year-old out of jail, 6 years. He had pushed a kid into Kududupi and the kid had died. The police had arrested him, and there was no other mechanism. Nobody arrests 6 years. I was almost in tears. Well, the NGO that was dealing the case have gotten the kid out, and nobody is the better for it. Obviously, the kid doesn't even realize what had happened. The parents of the victim were crying. They have cried to the police so long that, look, this kid, this was a mistake, and even if it were not a mistake, a 6-year-old kid is not possibly be liable. So the little ironies in our society should not be forgotten as we deal with our reforms here. so that we can probably look at the next review 10 years from now and don't have to repeat the little corrections that should have taken place. I thank you very much for inviting His Highness and for also giving me an opportunity to speak. I will remain here as long as I can, so I will revert to him with the discussions that are going to take place today.
The law will really improve the, or will tackle the issue of criminal justice in Kano, because there are so many innovations that will now reduce the congestion at our prisons, because there are a lot of provisions like this plea bargain and what have you, that will settle a lot of cases that are involved in military conflicts. So I believe that the new innovations in it will assist in increasing the congestion. And another thing is that the law really is, I would call it as accused friendly, because there are a lot of provisions that are more favorable to the accused than even to the courts or to us, the prosecutors. We are not prosecutors, we are prosecutors, but our maybe powers are slightly reduced to the extent that we just, when at that time when we were fine-tuning the coming tune of the law, we said this law is accused friendly. It doesn't favor the prosecution or the courts. Everywhere, the protection is for the accused. Protection is for the accused. So the right of the accused is taken into consideration. Even to some extent, we are quarreling that the society is disregarded. But later, after going through the whole of the provisions, we realized that the provision really is for the larger society. When we correct the accused person is provided with all the necessary protection, and maybe the punishments are geared towards improving or correcting the accused person instead of just putting him in prison. The whole society will benefit from him being a good person rather than him being kept in the prison doing nothing and it's no longer productive to society.
So we have heard from the presentation by Prof about the rights of accused and the suspects and the agencies, the arresting and investigating authorities who are, and the legal department, that's the department that is responsible for ensuring that the rights of the accused and suspects is being upheld. And it's immediate, so this is something that immediately we're going to start carrying out advocacy on this, to this relevant institution, and getting what are the commitments that will be done, we will expect to see. Timely transmission of case diary from the NP legal department to the DPP within the time limit. And the agency is the NPF and the Ministry of Justice. Responsible again is OC Legal and the DPP. What we are looking at is that we want to see a tracking form designed, and we are happy to support in that design if is needed. Also that lawyers should be assigned to handle the case diaries. Again, this is an immediate thing, and we will be looking forward to commitments. Records of persons awaiting trial. The Nigerian prison services actually do a good job in keeping records. But what we want to see is that these records are transmitted to the JSRT. So the controller is going to be responsible for supervising magistrates and respecting time protocols, which again we identified earlier on as, if it is done, it means that people or suspects will not be kept sometimes for years while they are waiting. So the judiciary and the Chief Justice is responsible for seeing this, and we are hoping that this is something that will start immediately. use of alternating sentencing. So we were looking again, Prof talked about it, some probation and other means instead of people going to jail. And the judiciary is the main agency responsible for this. Magistrates and the Sharia court judges should be making use of what is provided in the law. Again, is an immediate start. And the last thing is quarterly meetings on ACJL related issues by the JSRT. In that way, all key stakeholders would know what is going on, would be able to see all the records from the various key stakeholders, and the responsibility lies with the Attorney General and the Chief Registrar. And again, it's immediate. Everything here we have is immediate because we feel that these are the most pressing issues that will start to resolve the challenges that are being faced. And we again will be expecting commitments from all the key stakeholders on identified issues. Thank you.
Thank you very much.